There's a ducky in the pool. Achoo, 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 quack, quack.
Okay. If you're gonna rip me off, at least get it right. It's who likes the little duckies in the pond. And it's I do, a chicka quack quack.
Achoo, achoo,
No, I do, not achoo.
achoo,
I do.
achoo.
No, it's achoo. Now you're screwing me up.
The things that I'm interested in doing are opportunities that have only emerged in the last 10 years, especially the sort of social engagement part, which have had to do with very particular developments in distribution cost and the access to certain kinds of tools.
Didn't you hear? The Democrats won. Everything's gonna be fine.
I work in a lot of different mediums. I do some film, I make games, toys, and a lot of the stuff has social components. So I play with audiences. And, you know, a lot of it is focused on the creation of sort of collaborative work with audiences. Some of it is about building, you know, mythologies with audiences. And a lot of it is, I guess, around humor.
If your times are hard, then it's time for Hard Times with Ze Frank. Hard Times! If you're like me, you have a $300 iPhone, but are no longer able to afford 99-cent applications. Luckily, the best iPhone application is free. Just take your finger and go like this. Then put it in front of your iPhone lens and take a picture. If you did it right, it should look like this. Here's one I took with a duck in it for old time's sake. It looks like someone took a picture through their butt. Hours of fun. I'm thinking of calling it I Finger You, but I'm open to suggestions. Hard Times!
The audience over time has been such a sort of wide variety of people, but you know, I guess the folks that I'm most sort of connected to and proud of my relationship with are the people who are kind of gallantly going forward and creating media for the first time, really being undaunted by all this technology and trying to find, you know, what's human in it, and are willing to make videos, make audio, kind of just jump in and not be afraid of it, not be too self-reflective about what they're doing, and you know, kind of dive in.
Before we start the show, two important pieces of news. The first from the gallery, worst artificial ass ever. And the other from outside of my hotel, worst fire pole ever.
I've been thinking about what it would mean to try to create a show without, you know, format or like specific encoded, you know, this is a show about X, and rather allow that format to emerge through a conversation with an audience.
Goons writes, if Zay doesn't want to talk about his cats, I'll just talk about mine. Oh, cats. When I'm on the road, I miss my cats. If you don't know what a cat is, it's sort of like a stuffed animal, but with a working asshole. I'll admit that when I went to the pound, I was actually shopping for a never-ending box of shit. And the cat just came with it. I brought the box home and made sure it was working, and I was just going to throw the cat away. But you get used to him, you know, the staring, the judging.
Very interesting, sometimes difficult, and sometimes pretty amazing is the fact that when you strip out information around something, you have to fill in the gaps, and you do that from yourself.
It's a little tough to show respect back to a cat, you know. They're very light sleepers.
So you kind of create a mythical landscape, or you almost, you know, you're layering over your own kind of emotional landscape on top of this information which just isn't rich enough for you to get all that detail.
I have two cats, the fat one and the ugly one. Not a judgment thing, but they are a little bit lesbian. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm cool with it, and yes, sometimes I watch. One anecdote I will share with you is that in the summertime, sometimes I sleep macho, white t-shirt, no underpants. Sleeping macho looks very attractive on a man. I feel like it helps me breathe. Anyways, one summer's eve, I woke up to the ugly one licking my butt. Crack. It integrated rather interestingly into a dream I was having about my grandparents. I was a little weirded out at first, but I came around to realize that it was a sign of respect. And that's the cornerstone of a good relationship.
There's a woman named Jane McGonigal who I would love to work with as well. She's a friend of mine, but she's extraordinarily busy all the time. But she says that the world conspires to bring you the things that you truly want. And maybe I should spend more time dreaming in that way.